Hello, how are you?
Thanks for having time with me today.
Yes, you're very welcome.
I just wanted to do an interview with you. In my class, we're talking about collaboration, and I know as a teacher, there's lots of collaboration going on. I wonder if you might share a little bit about yourself and your role traditionally here at Stoll.
Well, I am the music teacher. I think our new title is music specialist, but I teach K through 5 music, 45 minutes a class period. We did do it twice a week. Now we only do it once a week. But usually the students come in here with me in the music room, and we just learn music theory, music history, just everything about music. So that's what we do here.
Very good. And what has been your biggest challenge in this traditional role as your music specialist?
You mean before all of the collaboration?
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge for me is knowing what is going on in the classrooms, and also them being able to know what I'm doing. There's a disconnect. A lot of people have a view of what I do as we just sing songs, we put on programs, and that's what music is. And a lot of times I wanted to collaborate, or if third grade was working on synonyms, could I do a project with that? But we never had any time to sit together and talk about it, and that was discouraging to me. Although I love teaching just music, it was nice to add that extra element.
That's very good. And this year, we kind of are alluding to that right now, that your
Yes.
role has changed.
Yes.
And so is the other specialist teachers here at Stoll. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, what we have created today is this, we call it a STEAM initiative, where each specials teacher works collaboratively with a grade level each quarter. Sometimes we get 2 grade levels. So as an example, first quarter I worked with kindergarten and first grade. Every day I go into each of those classrooms for about 30 minutes. And every 4th day the teacher and I collaborate together. And so every day we will go in and do projects together that are bigger, trying to integrate classroom subjects with our specials. So mainly music projects, although we get in some drama, we'll get in some art, but trying to broaden projects into deeper thinking for the kids.
Very good. All right. How were you involved in the implementation of this program?
Actually, I was kind of there at the beginning. Last year during some of my grad work, I met a principal of an arts integrated school in Columbia, and I told Kyle about this school and said it might be neat to visit. And because of our numbers being low and needing to have kind of a focus for our building to help, recruit, I guess, our superintendent encouraged him, after she heard about this school, encouraged him to go there. And so we arranged a visit to go to this integrated school in Columbia. And after seeing that, we were just so excited and impressed with it. We really liked it, that we wanted to get to that. And so our principal created a mock schedule, and I was one of the first to look at it, because he wanted the specials teachers to have a look at it, because it was going to change our schedule drastically. And so I was all for it, just because I was excited to get into the classroom and work with classroom teachers. And then he brought it to the whole school, and we've talked about it since then. So I've gotten to be there from the beginning, and I would say that I'm somebody that's very pro integration. So if it fails, it's partially on me. I feel that responsibility, even though I didn't have anything to do with the scheduling.
So as you're talking about it, the specials teacher you mentioned, their schedule has changed drastically this year. Do you ever collaborate with them to get a feel for how they're feeling about these changes?
Well, actually, I think that's one big change that has happened, especially with our professional learning community. Before this, it was very confusing about what we would do when we collaborated, because we're all teaching different subjects. We have nothing to collaborate on. now we do have something to talk about. We come together and we talk about how we are integrating in the classroom, how we're working with the other teachers, and how it works for us. And so actually it's built our collaboration. Definitely all of us that are teaching like the art, music, and physical education, we feel it the most because we went from a 3-day rotation to a 4-day rotation, and that is basically 12 class periods a year, which is it could be 1 or 2 units right there that we're losing, and so we feel that, and so we are trying to work it back into our integration if we can, but still we do miss seeing our kids more often, and so that is a concern of all of ours.
Okay, that was one of my questions, is what have you had to give up?
That was a huge sacrifice, and I'm sure we'll start feeling it more at the end of the year, and as I am preparing programs, I have to allow so much more time now, and so I am losing a lot, but I feel like it's worth it for this project, so.
And I'd like to go into that a little bit. How is it worth it? For the kids especially.
Yes, for the students, I'm seeing, for one thing, I feel like it's giving us an opportunity to slow down and allow children to enjoy learning, to enjoy deeper thinking and imagination. I see them excited about creating things and also a great sense of ownership for things. And frankly, you almost have to stop them from imagining. Like, we'll reflect on a project we've just finished, and all they're doing is thinking about how they would like to do it again in a different way, or how they want to be creative. And so I've really enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed seeing the students do that. I also want to see the students in the future become more expressive, knowing how to express themselves, as well as collaborate and share with each other, and that we can create more of a safe environment for them, not only with the teachers but with each other, so that they're not afraid to be bold and big and afraid that someone's going to laugh at them. I want to see us get to that point, and really I think we're slowly getting, even just 1 quarter into it, I see us doing that more. Kids are opening up more and being, sharing more than they've ever done before.
It's very neat.
Yeah.
I like how you talk about your goal or your desires for the children to collaborate with each other more.
Mm-hmm.
You and the classroom teacher are such excellent models.
Mm-hmm.
What are the challenges that you have working right there together in the classroom?
Well,
with
and
your
that is kind of interesting, because I go into 4 different classrooms, and there's 4 different teaching styles,
Mm-hmm.
but they're all really good. They're all very solid, but each personality is a little different. So every lesson will go a little differently, and sometimes it is a challenge, because just like the kids, we don't necessarily butt heads, but we will have different goals, or one of us will get stuck and the other one has to kind of pull us along. As far as cooperating teaching, like teaching at the same time, that can be interesting. It's been pretty fluid for us so far. One person takes over. One ideology that I heard was that basically if you're the expert in that area, you take over. So if we're doing something with reading, I let the classroom teacher take over. If it's something music related, I take over, and we just kind of pass it back and forth.
And is that working out pretty naturally?
So far, so good. Yeah, it's worked out pretty well.
That's very good.
Yeah.
What have you learned, or what have you noticed as far as the children's learning goes? Are they picking up on the arts area like you would like them to? Because you said that you had to give up some of your lessons. Are you able to see them picking up on?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, like for instance, I did a huge nursery rhyme unit, and I've kind of taken that out. But with kindergarten, we collaborated to do a nursery rhyme unit together, and we've been able to teach different elements. And what I've noticed is, because we teach it in so many different angles, they memorize it better, they have a better understanding, and they're just more comfortable with it. And also because I see them every day, at least the kindergartners, I see them every day, their language is more consistent. So they will remember things like what a duet, a trio, a quartet is, because we'll talk about it every day. And also, they'll remember the words of, Mary Had a Little Lamb, simply because they did a project where they made a fence to keep Mary's lamb in. And while they were doing that, they were thinking of that song. And so it's worked together. So if we can, and I think that's one of our big goals, is we find standards on both of our ends and try to get to both of them. My words are falling apart. We get to try to teach both of them simultaneously, and they do help each other, and we've done all kinds of little things like that that's helped.
Very interesting. I wonder if you've had any contact with parents during this process.
A little bit. We've been Facebook-wise. We try to post things and show it off, and people have been really excited about it. And even the little things, like the first grade created a presentation of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, where they rewrote it. And we weren't inviting parents, but we still had a few parents that wanted to come because their child was talking about it so much. And their child didn't even have a lead part, but they had such ownership of it, they wanted their parents to see it. So I've seen that. And also, I've talked to a few teachers, or a few parents. I'll just see them and they'll ask about, how things are going, and I'll talk about that. And they're very excited about the idea of it. But it's still an idea because we haven't even gotten through a full year of it, so I haven't worked with everybody yet. But I haven't gotten to see too much parent feedback. I'm looking forward to seeing how they react when they see the work. And well, like, you're a parent, and you were talking about how even at home, you see the language of your daughter changing, and when she uses that language, she's thinking deeper.
Yes.
And I know as a parent myself, my son will come home and want to do the activities, sing the songs with me, tell me about things he's been doing. So both of my sons are in integration projects, and they are excited about them. They like to talk about them and look forward to them.
Very good. I just have one more question for you, Katie. What are your hopes for the future?
I would like, I think that we need to go through a tweaking process, and so I feel like this has been a challenging year so far, but I am hoping to see a time when we have a school that students come here and feel safe, and students come here and openly express themselves, are not afraid to be who they are, and also just think in new ways, think beyond the box, and think creatively, and just learn and grow through that kind of environment that isn't strict and rigid, but has a freeness to it. I would love to see I would love to see beautiful mistakes being made, and them growing through it, and us having the power as teachers to back off and take away the control and allow them to really learn in an amazing way. That's what I'd love to see them do.
Awesome. Well, Katie, I have really enjoyed talking with you. Even though we're here at the same school, we don't always connect like this, and it's been so interesting to hear you talk about the integration process, the collaboration, how you've had to give up some things, but you feel like the challenges are really paying off. I love hearing your perspective as a parent as well. And like you said, my daughter is here, and she is coming home and doing these hands-on projects at home. The learning is just really integrated, and it's exciting.
It is exciting. I hope to see it school-wide soon. I'd love everyone to be involved in it.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Katie.
Well, thank you.